Hey, good morning, e-learners. How are you doing? Go ahead, get out your homework. Yes. More random stuff or what?
No, I didn't get numbers.
Oh, got you. Excellent. We're right on the math. Okay, the homework was on what subject or what type of math? Sunglasses off, please. And now give me an answer. What problems? So my goal is I'm going to be a realistic math teacher. I'm not going to say that, oh, wow, I have the magic. They'll make you love word problems by the end of the year. That's not going to happen. But what I will say is that my goal is to certainly get you where you are. Okay, bring it on. Word problem, I'll give it a shot. That sort of attitude. But certainly word problems for most people are always challenging. You want to say something? All right, number 6. Let's take a look at number 6. All right, number 6 says the following. That's a lot of words, right? A lot of words. So number 6 says Marcia's restaurant received a shipment of 12 cases of dinner plates and 15 cases of salad plates. Each case of dinner plates has 24 plates in it. I'm going to read really fast here. In it, and each case of salad plates has 36 plates in it. How many plates did the restaurant receive? All right, how many people, before I go over this, like, I'm pretty sure I got this one. All right, maybe about half the hands are in the air. Okay, so we got an issue with this problem is it talks about cases. You don't know what a case is, it's a box, right? A case is a box. Lots of things come in boxes. You can have a case of cookies, right? That's a big box of cookies. Typically, a case, though, doesn't hold just one item, or I should say, a case doesn't hold like random cookies. A case would hold a smaller box of things, right? In this case, you could have a case of boxes of cookies. You guys know Girl Scout cookies, right? They come in these cardboard cases, and inside the cases are the boxes of Girl Scout cookies, right? In this, no pun intended, case, in this case, we're dealing with cases of dishes. So I'm going to draw on the board here. We got a box, and we got 2 different types of boxes. We got box A, and we got box B. No, this is not a magic trick. Box A, it has dinner plates, right? Dinner plates. In this box of dinner plates, there are how many dinner plates? Somebody help me out here. How many dinner plates are in the box
24.
Called cases of dinner? There are 24. How many, is it salad plates? How many salad plates are in box B?
36.
Is it 36?
Yes,
okay, it's 36. Go for it. All right. Yet that isn't the end of the problem. It further says that you got more than one cases. How many cases of dinner plates do you have? I got 12 of these suckers. So if I were to write that mathematically, that would be what? Plus 12 or times 12? Times 12. You see my picture? Oh, it's coming together. How many cases of salad plates do we have? Times 15. And what am I going to do with all this? Go ahead.
Multiply both of them.
Well, I don't know. I already have that written. What am I going to do?
Then you add them together.
Then I'm going to add them together. Very good. So this is kind of like that second section we did where we had a combination of multiplication and addition. Which one do we do first, multiplication or addition?
Multiplication.
We have to do multiplication before we do addition by order of operations. All right, friendly or ugly numbers here? Well, they're ugly because I can't do that in my head, right? I can't do 36 times 15 in my head. Well, I know 10 times 36 is 360. Let's not do it in our head. Let's just use some scratch paperwork. Could you get to the answer from what I just showed you for number 6? Yes or no? Yes. Okay. Somebody had another question? Yes.
Number 3 and 4.
3 and 4. Now, I just want to point out that what was my technique here to get to the answer? I just drew a model, a picture, right? And it wasn't a very nice one. I didn't literally draw pictures of plates, but I'm just going to tell you over and over again for you this year, you should reach for a drawing almost every math word problem that you do. It will help you make sense of the problem. All right, let's take a look at 3 and 4. Puerto Rico Trench in the Atlantic. You guys know what a trench is?
Yes.
Have you had basic geology yet in science?
No.
Do you know that we sit on these things called plates.
Yeah.
Get it? We sit on these things called plates, and the plates actually float, right, on the earth, right? Imagine that. We're talking about the ground. Right now, we are floating of some sort,
We're
right?
actually upside down.
That depends on your perspective, right? We're floating, and these plates move, right? When they move apart and they open up, it forms, right? When the plates move apart, right, you can get a trench. And also when they come together, sometimes you get something when the plates squeeze together, one goes underneath the other one, and you can get another form. I'm not a geologist, I probably just slaughtered that, but that's the basic idea of a trench. The largest one I want to say is the Grand something Trench.
It's the Mariana.
The Marianas Trench, right. Is that in the Pacific, I believe?
It's like around the coast of Japan.
Yeah, it's huge, right? It's the deepest spot in the oceans. All right. I don't know where the Puerto Rico Trench is, but apparently it says it's in the Atlantic Ocean, and it's 9,460 meters deep. And there's the next sentence. The Marianas Trench, this is the deepest one in the Pacific. Oh, I look like a genius because I didn't read ahead. 11,776 meters deep. How much deeper is the Marianas from the Puerto Rico? Now you can get lost in all of those words. But mathematically, all they're asking you to do, it was your question, is subtract those two numbers. Can you do me one favor? Go to your locker, take off your hoodie. Thank you. Anybody else got a hoodie on? I'm very slow at catching uniform stuff, but I do catch it eventually. Thank you. All right, we good? All right, let's grade this puppy. All right, number one. Now your sentence may not be the same as mine. Marvin spent $65. Right? So the key there is you better have in your answer what?
65.
You better have $65. Right? Your sentence might or your phrase might be the same as mine. Each adult is, this is number two, each adult is $4. You good? Okay. Number three, the Marianas Trench is 2,316 meters deeper than the Puerto Rico Trench. Yeah.
I need help on number 8.
We're not there.
Oh.
But I will help you. Number four, 112 books, new books have arrived. Number five, Martina spent $57 on textbooks. Yeah, good luck with that. So my youngest daughter started college yesterday, and we spent like $900 on textbooks. Textbooks are expensive. Number six, there are a total of 828 plates. Is that what you got?
Yeah.
828. Number seven, the last one. He drew $32 more, or I'm sorry, he deposited $32 more than he withdrew. We good? All right. I will just point this out for number 8 since you asked. So you got what, 3 different things, right? You got a sailboat, a rowboat, and a canoe. That's a whole bunch of division. You're going to take each one of those numbers and divide by how much they were to rent, and that will tell you how many of that particular type. So if you spent $10 on sailboat and it's $2 per sailboat, you rented 5 sailboats. You do division. You got to do that for each one of those categories, and then add that up, and that'll tell me how many boats were rented in total. Yeah.
Could you go for 5?
Number 5. The bookstore calculus was $17. Yeah, good luck with that. I spent $170 and I went to college a long time ago on my calculus textbook. Martina bought a calculus textbook for $17, chemistry for $19, and some other notebooks for $13, some pens for $9. Later, she bought a history book for $21. And she bought a lot of stuff, right? How much did she spend on textbooks? So guess what we should do? Just the textbooks are what we need to add. Okay. All right. Are we good? Yes. We have time today. All right. By end of class, I need your homework in this first box here on the left. By end of class, I need your homework in that box. All right, where is here we go. All right, you guys are all brand new to me. And so this is the first time we're going to do this for this year, but this is how I will do it for every test, not quiz. Okay, for every test, I will hand out look at me. I will hand out not a study guide. I'm going to hand out head up, please. A copy of the test. The only difference between this and the one you get tomorrow, well, two things. One, the numbers will be different. And two, on the back, you will not have the answers tomorrow. But for today, you have the answers on the back. For e-learners, I will attach this to the Google form. You'll see it. So I am not joking when I say tomorrow the test will be like this. Okay. The first question, it says it's a quick evaluation. It says, you'll see the question when you get it. Tomorrow's test, right? Question number 1 will be similar, or probably a multiplication problem on number 1. Question number 2 is a subtraction problem. Probably number 2 will be a subtraction problem. That's sort of, literally, if you can do this practice test, right, and get them all right, then you can almost write an A on the paper and say, I don't need to take the test tomorrow because I already got an A on your practice test. All right. Now, what I'm going to do is go over a couple key things what you should do. Number 1, when I do this, right, I like to have a test environment so we get a good practice. 1, the length of this practice test minus a word problem, right? I'll never put a word problem on a practice test. Minus the word problem, it's kind of simple. This has 16 problems on it. Tomorrow's test will probably have maybe, 18, 19 problems, including those word problems. So I like to maintain a good test environment when we do our practice test, and that way you all have a comfort feeling of, yeah, I got the whole darn thing done in class, and he went over homework, so he used up, 10, 15 minutes. And I still got the practice test done. Some of you might not finish, and that's okay as well, too. But it'll at least give you the idea of how long the test will take, you will need to take the test tomorrow. Secondly, yes, I am going to be walking around giving help to people, so it's not going to be completely quiet in here. But what I don't want to happen is that people are working. It's not that group work is bad, but I'm saying tomorrow's not group work, right? If you do group work today, you don't get that feeling of I can do the problem or not. Today is all about identifying what you know and what you don't know. If you identify something you don't know, guess what you should do tonight? Well, how are you going to know how to study it? So let's say you don't know how to do question number 1. Okay, so what should you do? Yes?
You should ask for help during student advisement.
Clearly, well, during the class, you can say, Mr. C, I don't know how you're getting 12 on number 1. I keep getting 20. What am I doing wrong? 2 things will happen. I'll either point out your mistake and you'll go, oh, okay, yeah, that's right. I'm sorry, I made a mistake. Or you're going to say, I'm still lost, right? That's the one I want you to circle, the ones that you're still lost on. Should you get them all right? I'd like for you to get them all right, but probably there's going to be some you don't get right. Circle the ones that you got wrong, even if it's a silly mistake. That way, during student advisement and later on tonight, the ones that you circled are the ones that you study. So how do you study for that? If you get to the point where you're like, I don't get that number 1, then you say, Mr. C, number 1s are still kicking my butt. And I'm going to come to you and say, you should open your textbook to page whatever and do these odd ones in the book because you'll have the answers in the back of the book that you can check. So there'll be more practice for those. A practice test is all about figuring out what you know and what you don't know. Hopefully you know everything, right? All you're making is silly math. If I have to ask you one more time, right? You need like assistance, right? Okay. Lost my train of thought. I have slides for it. Let's go over the slides. All right. So the chapter 1 test is the chapter 1 review. The procedures are first and foremost work. We haven't done this yet. I fully anticipate you guys will work. Some classes I have to motivate a bit more than others. As we get closer to the end of the year, you might need a bit more motivation than what you need right now. Remember, tests are 65% of your grade. 65% of your grade. So you need to really, 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 really do well on all tests. Okay? It has what we say an outsized effect on your grades. Homework is only 15%. So I need you to work. You're going to be working by yourself quietly, right? Obviously, if I'm helping someone, there'll be some talking going on. I also don't mean that we can't talk, right? Meaning that if you're stuck on something, I absolutely positively want you to ask for help from me, not from your neighbors, okay? I said this before, so your job is to circle the ones that you get wrong, even if it's a silly mistake. And that way, during student advisement, a couple hours from now, and later on tonight, you can redo that problem again, right? Hopefully you get it right, right? Identifying those silly mistakes that you make, right? You become more aware of your problems, your particular issues. Yeah, whenever I multiply 8 times 7, sometimes I write 54 instead of 56, that sort of thing. The more you're aware of that those are your problems, right, the better you're off on catching mistakes when it counts, like on the test. Said it before, you're going to study the things you get wrong, not the ones you get right. You get it right, unless it's by blind luck, right? If you get it right, it's because you've mastered that skill. Remember, on all quizzes or tests, you may bring a sheet of paper in. Head up, please. You may bring a sheet of paper in with whatever you want to write on. You don't have to have a resource card. But if you want to, right, for some of you might want to, bring a piece of paper in. You can also have, if you want to, have a multiplication table next to you. Right? I'm not teaching you how to multiply. Right? I'm teaching you how to do much higher level skills than multiplication. I have plenty of people, right, all the way into 9th grade that have a multiplication table next to them. I don't have too many 10th graders, right? But I certainly have 7th graders and 8th graders and 9th graders that have multiplication tables next to them. All right, that's it. Questions? Yeah.
Yeah, for homework, what do we have?
Okay, so let's see. I'm going to hand you a piece of paper that says practice test, and I'm giving you the answers. So one thing that I don't do is I don't put this into the grade book, right? If you are, which word do I want to choose? Do I use the D word? Well, that'd be cruel. If you're dumb, no, I better not use dumb, right? If you choose not to do this, shame on you, and guess what? Tomorrow when you fail the test, we'll know why you failed the test, right? No, you're not dumb, but I'm saying sometimes people make poor choices in life, right? It would be a poor choice if you choose not to do this. One, I'm going to be watching you during this class, so you're not even going to have the option. But there will be times, probably not this one, there's only 16 questions here, you're going to finish this. But there will be times throughout the year where you might not finish the practice test during class, right? If you choose not to complete this on your own, that's why it's not on the homework, right? Your homework always for the night before a test is to get ready for the test. Make your resource card, do the practice test. For those of you that are really want to make sure you get a solid A, here's what you should do. In the next 30 minutes, you're going to finish this practice test. Easy. You got 2 minutes per problem. You can do this. Then student advisement, I would suggest, unless there was something you circled that you're like, I need help on this, don't worry about the test. Get your other homework done. That way tonight, right, the last thing you do before, I don't know when you do your homework, but if you're doing your homework at some time tonight, the last thing you do is the practice test one more time, right? Do you have to take my advice? No. But if you want to make sure you get an A, take my advice. Do the practice test again. It takes you 20 minutes, right? If it takes you 30 minutes now, it'll probably take you 20 minutes tonight. That will give you solid, total confidence that you'll do well tomorrow. And then the first thing you do, come in tomorrow, maybe you just look it over real quick, right? Oh, yeah, I know how to do that. I know how to do that. I know how to do that. Right? I'm golden. Bring on the test, Mr. C. All right, that's what I would recommend. Any other questions? All right. I always make the first quiz and the first test the easiest quiz and test of the year, right? I specifically designed it, wanted to give you a boost of confidence so that you can lock in a solid A right at the start of the year. And then the rest we'll work on it. It will certainly get more challenging than what we're doing right now. Okay? Questions? All right. Yes. I know. Luckily for me, now, yes, so he's going to pass it out and I shall take attendance. E-learners, I'm going to turn off the video right now. If you have any specific questions, send me an email. The test, once again, will be on the Google Forms And then there is no homework. This is for everyone now. There is no homework on?
Friday.
No, never. There's no homework on test nights. So tonight is not a test night. Tonight is the night before the test. So your homework is to study for the test tonight. But tomorrow, all we're doing in class is simply taking the test. So tomorrow night, there will be no homework. Now, I guess I misspoke to Jaden there when I said there's no homework, or there's always homework on Friday. If we ever have a test on a Friday, yeah, that'll be the only Friday you don't have math homework, okay?